We haven't actually toured for about 6 months at least, so I guess it's taken a little while to get back into it.
Comes down to even the titles, like self-titling the second album isn't something that most people would do. Here we are, this is what we're doing now.
I think we're really happy with like how we're sounding now, and I guess that sort of is what the statement is. It was actually, yeah, it was. The first album we basically would sit in the studio, work on the whole thing in the rehearsal room, like going over and over again, which is good in some ways, but there's a lot of ways which kind of stuff that does take a bit of working out at home and like coming out with ideas just by playing around it over and over again, or like listening to it on your own, which you can't really do in the studio. You have to kind of come up with something there and then.
It's very 21st century at the moment. The way that we wrote the last record, we sort of we listen to things on our computers at home and then record it separately. And the first time we'd hear like the full song most of the time was when Ben sent us a demo of all of our parts, which we'd sort of concocted on our own, and then we'd try and play it. I think that's one of the big things about this record, is we're trying to learn, well, we're pretty much there now, considering it's the 4th day of the tour, but we're trying to learn how to play most of it.
I feel like with a lot of people, what seems to other people like a breakthrough, to the band themselves just feels like part of the progression. Like, I don't know, for people who, because we live it day to day and we're just working every day on it, it feels like we're kind of just doing work and then getting the reaping the rewards of that work. Whereas from people from the outside who don't hear anything and then suddenly sort of see us on Radio 1 or whatever, it seems like we're just suddenly all over Radio 1.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah, but it's, if anyone does think that, then they're wrong. It's taken 5 years to get sort of the plays that we're getting, and we've still got a long way to go.
I think playing to larger audiences definitely make you, I don't know, it's just quite an epic feeling to play to 8,000 people in like an aircraft hangar. So I guess it's sort of, if you, I don't know, I think the last record was very, it's very acoustic based, and there's even stuff like playing an acoustic guitar on stage comes with all sorts of difficult like stuff, so sometimes it's just much more fun and less to worry about if you're just rocking out with an electric. Talking from Ralph's perspective anyway, which is where the majority of the sound of the new album has come from, is Ralph playing an electric guitar as opposed to the acoustic of the last one.
Yeah, and also kind of knowing that the last album we were doing a lot of our gigs were in sort of very acoustic situations, like small venues and things, so it was probably as much to that one thinking about being able to perform it acoustically was more of a necessity, whereas this one, like, we've done a few acoustic shows, but it's been a lot more of a sort of hard work to work out how to play them acoustically. Yeah. There is an outtake sort of hidden in the song, which is in the middle 8 bit where it starts going and the beat goes on, Life's Endless Drum. If you listen, there's a bit where you can hear some talking in the background, and it's actually our drummer Taffel, who was like playing a tambourine, and he's saying, "Is that tight enough?" And that's what he's saying in that recording. That's kind of one for the real geeks who want to.
How many times have you played without having a shower before? It's a bad thing.
Me and Grant shared a bed last night, and it was super hot on stage, and neither of us had a shower. And we slept on my friend Chris's bed. So sorry about that, Chris.
I didn't feel great about that this morning.